Hello and welcome to The Deep Dive. Today we're getting into a really moving story. A.J. Cronin's classic tale, Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Yeah.
And this is more than just a story. It's a real look into things like sacrifice, sincerity, and, well, incredible maturity from two very young boys. Our sources for this one are quite interesting, mostly educational analyses, some commentaries. They lend themselves well to sort of a question and answer approach, which should be good.
Absolutely. And what's great about these sources is they let us really pull out the key insights, go beyond just the plot summary. Our goal today is to unpack this really touching narrative, maybe answer some of those core questions, and help you grasp the most important takeaways.
Exactly. Think of it as getting you quickly up to speed on who these gentlemen of Verona really were. So, ready to dive in with us?
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. The story kicks off on the outskirts of Verona. Our narrator first meets these two young boys, Nicola and Jacopo, selling wild strawberries.
Yeah.
What was it about them that first caught his eye? What did they even look like?
Well, the sources point out this immediate contrast. Nicola, he was 13, the older one. Jacopo was nearly 12. And appearance-wise, they were quite shabby, actually. Nicola had this worn jersey, cut-off khaki pants. Jacopo, a shortened army tunic, kind of gathered loosely, brown skin, tangled hair. They looked like they lived rough. But it wasn't just that, it was their eyes. Cronin describes these dark, earnest eyes, and there was a seriousness about them, that seemed way beyond their actual age. That's what really struck the narrator.
Right, that earnestness. And the narrator's driver, Luigi, he wasn't exactly impressed, was he?
Not at all.
Why did Luigi disapprove so strongly while the narrator felt this pull towards them?
Well, it really highlights how we judge people, doesn't it? Luigi just saw the shabby clothes. Simple as that. His reaction was purely practical, maybe even a bit disdainful. He figured, we can get better fruit in Verona town. He even, shrugged them off. But the narrator, he felt something different. He describes this strange attraction, not pity, mind you, but an attraction to their genuineness, that serious look. It was like an intuition, wasn't it? That there was more to them than just their appearance. Cronin sets that up right away, judging by surfaces versus sensing inner worth.
Okay, and here's where it starts getting really interesting. You find out pretty quickly they aren't just selling a few strawberries. They're doing a whole lot more, aren't they? What kinds of things were these young boys doing to actually make a living? It's quite a list.
Oh, it's amazing when you list it out. Their industriousness is incredible. Beyond the strawberries, they shined shoes. Anyone's shoes. They sold newspapers, hawk them, actually, which means selling loudly, moving around. They acted as tour guides, too.
Tour guides at that age.
Yep, showing tourists around Verona, places like Juliet's tomb, and they ran errands, all sorts of errands. The narrator mentions they helped him get American cigarettes, find seats for the opera, basically anything you needed. They were running a brisk business, as Cronin puts it, always working, willing to do anything, often from early morning to late at night. It really shows incredible dedication for kids that age.
It's truly astounding, that level of work. But despite earning what must have been a decent amount from all this, the narrator notices something. They don't seem to be spending much on themselves at all. Why was that? And what did the narrator first think they were saving up for?
Yeah, that's a really key observation, isn't it? It gets to the heart of their motivation. They lived so simply. The narrator points out minimal spending on clothes, and their food was often just black bread and figs, really basic stuff.
Right.
So naturally, the narrator's first thought, before he knew the real story, was maybe they were saving to emigrate, to go to America, start fresh.
That makes sense as an assumption.
It does. But Nicola, the older one, he gets a bit evasive. He mentions other plans. And the sources say he even blushed or colored deeply when pressed about it. So there's a secret there, something they're guarding carefully. Builds the suspense,
Those other plans. That really is the central mystery, isn't it? So the narrator's about to leave Verona, offers him a final bit of help. And it's Jacopo, the younger or maybe more impulsive one, who let something slip about their Sundays. Where did they go every single Sunday? And how far away was it?
Yes, exactly. Those other plans definitely got the narrator thinking. And Jacopo, with his typical energy, spills the beans. They went every week to a place called Poleta, and it wasn't close, about 30 kilometers outside Verona.
30 kilometers. How do they usually get there?
They usually hired bicycles, which, again, shows their commitment, right? Cycling that far every week.
Wow.
But Jacopo, seeing an opportunity maybe, asks the narrator if he could possibly drive them in his car.
And the narrator agrees.
He does, even though his own driver, Luigi, had the Sunday off. The narrator offers to drive them himself, which shows, I think, how invested he's become in these boys and their little mystery.
So, okay, the narrator drives them to Poleta. He's probably picturing, some small house, maybe a relative's place. But what does he actually find when they get there? And who does he see the boys with inside? This is the big moment.
It really is the turning point, the big reveal, because instead of some humble cottage, they pull up to this large red-roofed villa, quite an impressive building, and then he realizes it's been converted into a hospital.
A hospital.
Yes. And inside, he sees Nicola and Jacopo sitting quietly at the bedside of a young woman, maybe about 20. She's described as being propped up on pillows, wearing a pretty lace jacket, and her eyes, soft and tender, looked a lot like the boys.
Their sister?
Exactly, their sister Lucia. It's a very quiet, powerful moment in the story. Suddenly, everything clicks into place.
And Lucia, what was wrong with her? This must be the reason for everything, for all their hard work.
Absolutely, the core of their sacrifice. Lucia was suffering from tuberculosis of the spine.
Oh.
Yeah, a very serious illness, especially back then. Required long, expensive treatment. And that diagnosis, it just instantly explains everything, doesn't it? All their relentless work, the saving every penny, the bread and figs.
Yeah.
It wasn't just being industrious, it was pure, selfless devotion to her. It puts it all in such a poignant light.
It really does. But the boys, Nicola and Jacopo, they never actually told the narrator about Lucia, did they? Even when he was clearly concerned. Why keep such a huge secret? What does that tell us about them?
It tells us so much, and it's something Cronin really emphasizes, their incredible pride and self-respect. They explicitly did not expect charity or sympathy. That wasn't what they wanted.
They wanted to earn it.
Precisely. They preferred to earn the money through any work, however small, because that let them keep their dignity intact. They knew telling people about Lucia would bring pity, and they didn't want that.
And the narrator understood that.
He did. He respected it so much that even after finding out, he did not utter a word about it to them. He let them believe they had safely kept their secret. He honored their dignity, their selflessness. It's a really subtle but powerful choice by the narrator and by Cronin in telling the story.
Okay, so after this quite emotional discovery, the nurse at the hospital gives the narrator more background, fills in the gaps about their past. How exactly did the war impact their family? It sounds like it was truly devastating.
Devastating is the right word. If you put it in historical context, the war just ripped their lives apart. Their mother had died sometime before. Their father, who was apparently a well-known singer, was killed early in the war.
Oh, no.
And shortly after that, a bomb hit their home, destroyed it completely. So the three children, Nicola, Jacopo, and Lucia, were left utterly homeless. On the streets, the sources described them suffering horribly from near starvation, exposure to the cold. They survived by building a sort of makeshift shelter in the rubble. Just unimaginable hardship for children.
Unbelievable. And facing all that, they actually got involved in the resistance movement, too, at that age.
Yes. It speaks volumes about their spirit, doesn't it? Their patriotism, their resilience.
What drove them to do that?
Well, they hated the Germans. Understandably, right? For everything, they had lost their father, their home, their city's peace. So, fueled by that anger and their inherent bravery, they joined the secret services of the resistance movement.
Doing what? What could kids do?
Carrying messages, apparently information about German troop movements, passed along to the freedom fighters.
Yeah.
Risking their lives, essentially.
Wow, children doing that.
It shows their dedication wasn't just to their sister, but to their country, too. They were fighting back in their own way. Truly remarkable spirit.
It really is an unbreakable spirit. And all this, the resilience, the devotion, the sense of duty, this is what makes them more than just boys, isn't it? So let's get to the title. What fundamentally makes Nicola and Jacopo the true gentlemen of Verona? It's clearly not about wealth or status.
Exactly. And that's the core message, the reason for the title. Cronin is redefining what gentleman means. It's about their character. They were incredibly kind and caring towards Lucia, taking on this huge responsibility without a single complaint, despite being so young. They were always polite to others, very respectful. They showed amazing maturity. And that self-respect we talked about, refusing pity, insisting on earning their way.
Mm-hmm. And hope. They never lost hope, did they?
Never. Despite everything, they were willing to do all kinds of odd jobs, anything really, to reach their goal. But, and this is important, they did not choose the wrong path.
Right. No stealing, no cheating.
Exactly. They maintained their integrity. So it's all those qualities together. The selflessness, the integrity, the commitment, the quiet dignity. That's what makes them true gentlemen. Their inner nobility just shines through far brighter than any fancy clothes or background could.
That's a powerful redefinition.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, what's the big takeaway for us, for you listening? What's the enduring message from Two Gentlemen of Verona that still matters today?
I think the story really hammers home that idea that adversity is a touchstone of virtue. Like those tea leaves the source mentioned, the best essence comes out in hot water. Hardship didn't break them. It revealed their incredible strength and character. It's also a profound statement about family, isn't it?
Definitely.
That you don't give up when things get tough. Actually, the bond gets stronger because it demands that selfless sacrifice. Ultimately, it suggests that finding meaning in life often comes through serving something larger than yourself, through that kind of selfless action. And Cronin suggests that brings a new nobility to human life. It offers hope, really, hope for humanity found in the actions of two poor boys. It's about the enduring power of the human spirit.
A great hope for human society, indeed. That brings us to the end of another, well, truly captivating deep dive. What an incredible story of loyalty, sacrifice, and that unbreakable spirit we saw in Nicola and Jacopo. We really hope you found this discussion useful, maybe enlightening, as we tried to unpack the layers of this beautiful story. As you go about your day, maybe just think about this for a moment. What quiet acts of nobility, like real gentility, might be happening all around us, perhaps unnoticed, just like the devotion of those two young gentlemen in Verona?
That's a great thought. And maybe consider how adversity, when we face it with courage and dedication, really can bring out the best in us. It shapes us, reviews our strength, just like it did for those boys.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the fascinating world around you. Thanks so much for joining us.